And welcome to this week's edition of Menopause Made Easy with Tanya. This podcast is for women who are done guessing and ready to feel strong, energized, and confident in their skin as we go through this perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal phase of our life where this is like 1/3 to 1/2 of where we're living. We want to feel amazing. So we're going to talk today about, is leptin the missing link in your weight loss journey over 40? Okay, and I am Tanya. For those of you that are new, I have been in this profession for over 3 decades, personal training, teaching all sorts of classes, nutritional coaching, um, behavioral change coaching, sleep recovery coaching, basically a well-rounded view to help you to get the best out of your life, because we need a plan. We need a plan. When we have a plan, we know what we're doing. All right. So I am your go-to for any lifestyle issues that you need to deal with. Do you need to start moving? Do you need to start eating better? Do you need to have a shift in your mindset? I have my midlife reboot program, which you can ask me about, which is online. I have my Vibrant Living Academy, which is online. And then I'm also in person and I do classes in my area if you live around me in the city of Kawartha Lakes. And I do personal training online and in my studio. All right. So for those of you that don't know me, now you know a little bit about me. And just a refresher. All right, so I am here to help you navigate your hormones. I'm not a hormone specialist, okay, but I definitely have been deeply immersed in this for like 5 years, and we've done tons of episodes about hormones. I can help you with your metabolism, which is your, you know, just your everyday body, how it's running and how we want to boost it up, okay? And your mindset. So your metabolism is that lifestyle piece of exercise, NEAT, remember that non-exercise activity or thermogenesis, which just means how you're moving throughout your day without exercise. And that kind of, that does make up your metabolism. Okay, and then mindset is really, really important. So today's episode is all about leptin. You may have heard about leptin, you may not have heard about leptin, but it is a really interesting piece in this journey if you are looking to either lose weight, which you all know I'm talking about fat loss, or maintain where you are and keep your leptin levels healthy. All right, so leptin is a very powerful hormone that could be the missing link in your weight loss puzzle. So some of you come to me and you say, Tanya, I'm doing everything right. All right, but my body's just holding on to fat, especially around my belly. What's going on? So this episode is for you. And if you know another woman who is like, I can't get rid of this belly fat, what is going on? Please share this episode with them right now. Just hit share, send it off to them, and I'm going to let you know about this powerful hormone leptin. We're going to talk about what you can eat, how you can move, and all these wonderful things. All right, so I'm going to recap what we're going to talk about. Why leptin, I was going to say estrogen matters. We did that already. Why leptin matters, how it gets out of balance, and 4 simple but powerful ways to get it back on your side. All right. So, it's important. I know sometimes we don't have to do a deep dive into what leptin, all the ins and outs of it, but just a really basic understanding. It is known as your fullness hormone. Okay. Leptin is known as your fullness hormone. All right. And it's made by your fat cells. And it's responsible for telling your brain, hey, we're good down here. We don't need any more food. Okay, we're full. And just a little side note that many of us have had our leptin levels ruined, and we've ruined the leptin levels of our children because we say to them, you got to eat what's on your plate to get dessert. All right, so we've turned off listening to the hunger signals, and leptin is one of them. When it's that fullness sign, we have turned it off and we keep eating. So this is something I have had to work on, because hands up, I am a member of the Clean Plate Club, and I have really had to learn to listen to my leptin because it can get very quiet if we keep ignoring it. So we're going to dig into this today. So when your leptin level is working well, you feel satisfied after eating. Your metabolism stays active and your body burns fat efficiently. But when leptin resistance sets in, and yes, this happens, unfortunately, more often the older we get, okay? And like I said, if you have been an overeater and not listening to yourself, you may have started this process many years ago, but there's always hope. We can get out of it. Okay, so as we get older, our brain stops listening to leptin signals. Okay, so it's like insulin, remember? Like we have that knocking on the cell, and you can talk louder and louder and louder, and you still can't, they still can't hear. So, I heard this great analogy. When you ask your kids to do something, you're like, hey, Ian, can you get me something? And they don't hear you. And then you speak louder and louder and louder and louder until they hear you because they're so used to blocking you out. So it's like that. These messages are coming in, but your cells, your hormones are not hearing them. Okay. So even though your fat cells are pumping out leptin, your brain is basically on mute. And the result of this is you feel hungry even when you've just eaten. Your body stores more fat, especially around your belly. Your metabolism slows down, okay? And weight loss becomes a very frustrating uphill battle. All right, so that is basically leptin. Leptin, from what I'm reading in the research, actually happens before insulin, before getting into prediabetes, because we're turning off this, which then signals insulin. Okay, so sometimes, remember how I talk about we have to back up the bus, and maybe this is the root cause. So again, I did an episode, I don't know, a couple months ago now, a two-part series, 184 and 185, about do this before fat loss, because that's really getting you to pay attention, and awareness is the first thing. All right, so listen to that. So why does leptin resistance happen over 40? All right, so as we enter into our 40s and beyond, several things are changing. Okay, we can all guess what many of them are. Your estrogen levels are starting to decline. Your muscle mass is naturally decreasing, and that's why it is so much more important to make sure you're lifting heavier weights. We become more sensitive to stress because our progesterone levels are dropping, and our sleep often suffers. I'm hearing this from a few of you at the moment here, where your sleep used to be great and now it's kakapupu. Okay, so all of these factors affect leptin sensitivity. And when your estrogen drops, it messes with how your brain receives signals from leptin. And you might notice more cravings, you might notice belly fat, less energy. Like, does this sound familiar? Right? I don't know. I can definitely say I've had a lot of work to do on my cravings. Okay, it's not about resistance, it's not about willpower. Okay, we have to look deeper than this now, right? So I have worked diligently on this. All right, because I don't want to be eating food all the time. I don't want extra belly fat, and I want vibrant energy. So I have strong whys. But please know this, you are not broken. I wasn't broken, you're not broken. Okay, your body's just operating under different rules now. And this is why you cannot do what you used to do. You have to do things differently. And once you understand these rules, the new rules of your over 40 body, you can start to work with your body instead of against it. Okay, so let's talk about some leptin reset strategies. We're going to break down 4 powerful strategies that you can start using today to support healthy leptin levels and sensitivity. Okay, we've said this a gazillion times. I have so many podcasts on this, and this is why I'm also a sleep and recovery coach, and there's something else in there. But anyway, sleep. You must prioritize sleep. Sleep is a game changer. So studies show that just one night of poor sleep can lower your leptin and increase your ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. Okay, so leptin is your full hormone. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. And in one study from PLOS Medicine, participants who were sleep deprived had higher appetites and craved more carbohydrates. So your body needs about 7 to 9 good quality deep sleep, okay, to regulate your hunger hormones and keep your metabolism humming. And there are a lot of devices. I had an Aura ring for a while, and then I just stopped using it. But it gave me some really interesting feedback. Many of you have Apple products. There's all sorts of sleep trackers out there. So really, I just wanted to experiment. That's why I used it and then sent it back. So it just gave me an idea. So some of you may want to use it for a year. Some of you may like using it every day. Some of you maybe just do it for 3 months and just really get dialed in on your sleep. And just a really quick tip, I'm telling you, you've heard me talk about light and how that affects, because every cell in our body has a clock. If we just can power down our screens, lower the lights 30 minutes to 60 minutes before bedtime, really helpful. And maybe even throw in a magnesium bath or some calming teas like chamomile or tulsi. Okay, so that'll help you. All right, so prioritize sleep. Okay, number 2, really powerful suggestion for you to think about, to take action on, to plant the seed, is to cut the sugar and refined carbs. I have been working on this one. I am so much better. I am so much better. Oh my gosh. Okay, so high sugar intake, especially from processed foods and fructose without the fiber, okay, because fruit has fructose, but it has fiber, blunts leptin signaling. And that means your brain doesn't get the message that you're full. And I can attest to this because you give me a head of broccoli or lots of steak, and I cannot finish all of it, but you give me cookies and I don't feel full. You can eat a bag of popcorn, a bag of chips, bag of cookies, down some soda, some alcohol, and you don't feel full, okay? Because they're empty calories, there's no nutritional information being sent to your cells, and your brain is not getting the message, and that's affecting your leptin signaling. So in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, there was a study that found that high fructose diets actually impaired leptin signaling and promoted fat gain. All right, so your tip here is focus on whole food. So what I started to do, I've done a gazillion things. I have a course. It's 30 days to stop eating. No, what is it? It's 30 days. It's like a 30-day sugar reset. It is very powerful. If you want to do that, just let me know. It's on sale. I think it's $30 or something, but it is how I started this whole process. And I know, here's the quick tip, but you focus on eating whole foods, healthy fats, fibers, protein to keep your blood sugar and leptin in balance. But it's easy to say that, and it's challenging to do that, okay, on a consistent long-term basis. But I'm telling you, you break it down into what are your strengths when it comes to changing your diet, what are your weaknesses, what's the gap, let's work on the gap. All right. And so a lot of that can be that hedonistic eating. Again, listen to episodes 184 and 185. All right. So tip number 3, lift weights. Oh, really? And that means doing resistance training. Muscle is magic. I swear to goodness, up, down, sideways, left and right, that I know that I am in the state I'm in because I have been lifting weights since I was my early 20s and I haven't stopped. Maybe I stopped for a blip, I don't remember, but literally I have lifted weights my whole entire life, and I'm getting stronger. Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Anyway, muscle is magic. Muscle is your longevity. I did a few episodes back with the book Forever Strong, where I talked about the book Forever Strong and how Dr. Gabrielle Lyon really talks about building muscle, and not just her. It's really everybody. You can't escape it. I'm sorry, you just can't. So I'm running age strong and mobile classes. If you're in my area, please join me, or you can join me for some training. Okay, so the more lean muscle you have, the better your body becomes at processing hormones, including leptin. That's it. It's just, that's it. That's it. You can't argue with that. Okay. A 2013 study in the metabolism, in a journal Metabolism, showed that strength training improved leptin sensitivity in overweight women. Okay. It is, I don't know how to say this. I say it a lot, but you got to lift weights. It's just that simple. You have to lift weights. You have to figure out a way. Actually, remember, you don't have to. You can live with the consequences of not lifting weights, but I would definitely put that on your to-do list. Okay, so you can aim for 3 to 4 days of strength training. That can include body weight. Like I'm in my Age Strong class, we're doing push-ups. Okay, some people cannot do a push-up, so we're like building push-ups, and then we're lifting weights, right? Squats. So anything counts that's that's uncomfortable. So a push-up is uncomfortable, and then you can start to add weights. So it needs to feel a little uncomfortable, okay? And we're aiming for women, which we've been working on in my group, is 11 push-ups on our toes, done consecutively with great form. And that is a goal that we have. That's just one. We have a lot. And it's good to have goals, because then you work towards those goals. All right. Point number 4 is lower chronic stress. And many of you will say, I'm not stressed. Well, you know what? You might not think you're stressed, but your cells are under stress, and we need to manage stress. We need to get the cells feeling safe. And I've done great episodes on the nervous system, so you can listen to those. But high cortisol, your stress hormone, interferes with leptin. Okay, the more stressed you are, the more your body holds on to fat. And for my workouters, if you are working out too much, too hard, too long without a balanced menopausal routine, that can be a source of stress. If you are not eating a diet that is feeding your cells, that is a source of stress. If you just have life just all over the place, that is a source of stress. Okay, we're stuck in this sympathetic state, and we're not switching back sympathetic, parasympathetic. Okay, I've done episodes on that. Look them up. Okay, so some techniques just to get started. You can try journaling, get what's in your head out on paper. You can do some deep breathing. You can take a quick walk in nature to lower your cortisol and support your hormones. All right, so we're going to take these and we're going to do some real life application. So what does a leptin-friendly day actually look like? All right, I've got you covered. So here is a sample day of meals and movement that support leptin, balances your hormones, and keeps your metabolism fired up. So we're going to talk about meals and movement, just give you a rough idea and see, am I doing this? Am I not doing this? Do I want to do this? How can I fit it into my life? What's one little simple thing I can start with and then build from there? That's exactly what I do, everybody. Okay. So, and we're going to go over this. That's going to support leptin, balance your hormones, and keep your metabolism fired up. So in the morning, okay, have some warm lemon water. I've been teaching this for over 20 years. Get up, have some breaths, maybe do a little meditation. Just say hi to yourself, high five yourself in the mirror if you want to put a smile on your face. Step outside while you're brushing your teeth. All right. So see if you can do some of those. For breakfast, you're going to have eggs, depending on what your diet is. I'm not going to say how many, but you can figure that out. So some eggs with some spinach, maybe some mushrooms, maybe some arugula on the side, maybe some cucumber. Okay, you can have half of an avocado and sprinkle some lemon juice, and you can have a half a cup of sweet potato. So that's your breakfast. That's a far cry for many of you that are having cereal or toast with jam. So maybe you have a piece of toast and then it becomes 3/4 and then a half, and then you add an egg. with the toast at the very beginning, and then maybe you add another egg, then maybe you add the avocado later. This is all about sustainability, okay? So doing this long term. For lunch, you could have some grilled salmon, arugula salad, or a salad with a little bit of olive oil, some goat's cheese and walnuts. You can have some roasted vegetables and a small baked sweet potato. See, that sounds yummy. And if you don't like fish, have a steak, have chicken. All right. And then for a snack, ooh, I love this. I love getting some Greek yogurt, really high in protein, mixing it up with some chia seeds and adding some berries on top and having some handful of almonds. Perfect for keeping your blood sugar level stable instead of muffins, bagels, cookies, crackers, popcorn. Okay. Dinner, you can have a chicken stir fry with some broccoli, green peppers or bell peppers, some tamari. Okay, you can make some cauliflower rice, have a nice little peppermint tea at the end of that for something that's a little sweet. Sometimes I like sticking a mint in my mouth so that I don't have dessert, all right, because that's not what we want to be doing every day of the week. So just think about that, all right? And then your movement would be a daily walk, which is about 20 to 30 minutes. If you have a dog, you're doing that anyway. Strength training 3 to 4 times per week for like 10 minutes, 10 to 20, maybe 30 minutes, okay? I teach 30-minute classes. It does not have to be longer than that. You can do some squats, some rows, some presses, some bridges. Okay, there's so many things. I have a beginner start here program in my Vibrant Living Academy that you can check out, or you can get in touch with me. Do Pilates, some foam rolling, some mobility work, all right, on your days off, and then prioritizing your sleep and your recovery. So that kind of like is a day, right? So where are you now? Does your day look like this? Where's the gap? What's the next simplest shift you can make? All right. So leptin, you may or may not have heard of it, but now you know about it. Okay. It might not be a word you hear every day, but you might start to hear more about it because now it's in your awareness, but it's working behind the scenes and it's influencing your hunger, your energy, your fat stores, and even your mood. And we all have leptin. Okay. We all have it. So you want to make sure that it is working well. All right. And if weight loss feels harder than it used to be, this could be the missing link. So start by choosing one of these 4 strategies that I shared with you today to implement this week. Just one. Small steps lead to powerful shifts. That's my motto, simple shifts done consistently over time. Okay. Consistently over time. All right. Lead to big results. It's not all or nothing. You're not going to get to the end line without running the whole race first. We're in this race of vibrant life. Okay, so you got to put one foot in front of the other and start making these simple shifts. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Please follow, leave a review, share this with a friend. And if you want help with the gap and with your simple shifts and a plan, please reach out to me and we can have a chat. And I put a big hug around you. And have the most beautiful day. And I will see you in the next video. I have to find where to turn this off. There it is.